Hello and welcome to another episode of French Ear Trumpet. I'm Andy from AJ in France, joined as usual by Colin from French Countryside Life, whose channel has recently gone above 3,000 subscribers, which is amazing. So well done for that. Um, Come together normally once a week, once every 2 weeks, but obviously August being the holiday season, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on. So anyway, we're back and going forward, we've got a couple of good guests to come on. We're supposed to have one tonight, but unfortunately, due to personal circumstances, he can't quite make it. But we've got another one, haven't we? I think.
Yes, mate. Yeah. Hello everyone. There's a chap that I do some a little bit of gardening for. He's got like some raised beds, and you know, he's I want to say late 70s, early 80s. Um, Talking to him over the past, I've probably been working for him now for about 6 months. Talking to him, he's he's a really special person in that he was a big name in the motorsport engineering scene from from probably the late 60s right through to the 90s. He had worked at Jaguar, worked on the V12 racing engine, um, worked on the Group C rally cars, the engineering side of it. Um, he left Jaguar. I mean, when we talk to him, we'll get the full gen on everything that happened. Um, and he set up an engineering company producing parts for basically racing cars, rally cars. So crankshafts and small batch
High performance stuff.
high performance engineering parts. Um, he still goes backwards and forwards to the UK now. He's still got concerns in engineering companies back in the UK, still producing limited slip differentials for rally cars. Yeah, just brilliant. He's just recently got himself an old racing Mini. So it was a racing Mini that his wife used to drive, and he he lost it. You know, I think it got stolen. Don't hold me to that, but I think
Right.
it got stolen and it got recovered and then just lost in the ether. Anyway, a few years ago, someone called him and said, "Oh, just found this Mini. It looks like the one you had," and it turned out to be exactly the same one. So he just bought it, and it's in France now.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's amazing. I love
Sitting
stories like
outside his
that.
house, and he said to me, he said to me, "Do you want to drive it?" I said, "Well, I'll certainly start it up, mate." It
Oh, I can imagine.
sounds like something
I'm
out of
really
the
looking forward to talking to him
Italian job.
because
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
engineering stuff, as you know. So I think that'll be a really good
yeah.
conversation. So he's coming up
Yep.
on the channel, which is great. So basically, I want to say that I released a video on my channel about plug-in solar kits. Did you see that one? I'm
Of
sure you,
course
of
it is.
course,
Of course.
of course you did. What's your thing? What are you thinking about solar plug-in kits? What's your take on it as someone who hasn't really ventured into that realm? Because obviously I work in it daily, all the time. What's your take on what was in that video?
So it seems like the plug and play kits that you buy, so it's everything. You can't compete by buying substandard parts and trying to make the kit yourself.
Not really, no.
Which, when you think about it, it stands to reason really because these companies would have sourced these parts to make the kits to work together,
Mm.
and plenty of research I'm sure goes into all of it. And yeah, so the price is it's like anything. Remember when VHS players first? Actually, a better example is flat screen TVs.
Yeah.
when they first came out, there was two, £3,000, 4,000, well, more than that.
More than that, because
Yeah, more
it
than that.
wasn't LCD, wasn't it?
No, no,
Or
it's
LED even.
plasma.
It
Was
was
it plasma?
plasma, plasma.
Yeah,
And the original, so it must have been, I'm gonna say early 2000s, probably.
yeah. Funny enough, I was going to say late 90s, but yeah,
Yeah, well, around the same sort of
yeah,
time.
yeah,
They probably were around late 90s, but you'd have to have been a millionaire.
yeah, exactly,
But they
yeah,
became reasonably affordable. When I say reasonably affordable, you got a couple of 3 grand hanging around back down
yeah,
the back of the sofa. You could
yeah,
get one early 2000s because I did a job. Oh, this interesting job. So there's this guy. I took out his entire floor of his house.
right,
It was a suspended timber floor. Took the whole floor of the house out. Put warm water under floor heating in, and then over the top of that, put new granite tiles throughout the whole of the bottom floor of the house.
right,
And when I was doing it, he said, "Can I put a conduit in for his new plasma TV?" And he
right,
said, "I've spent 4 grand on this telly." Oh, sorry, spent 4 grand on this telly. And I was like, well, 4 grand's it's a lot of cash, isn't it? And he said, well, when you finish, we'd like to invite you and your brother because my brother did some of the tiling.
mm,
Oh, sorry about that. And we'll have a dinner. My wife will cook dinner and we'll watch a film.
very nice.
Yeah. So we went and did it and watched it. And the screen must have been about, I don't know, 50 inches. That's it. I mean, normal
Yeah,
TVs now, what, 50, 60.
yeah,
You can get anything now, can't you? Really
yeah,
super cheap.
yeah.
And I remember sitting there thinking, this is like having the cinema
This is the future.
in your
Funny
in your
enough,
living room. And it's only 50 inch TV. But
mm,
yeah, it was really interesting. But the problem with the plasma screens, you get screen burn. So if it left on a screensaver or
yeah, yeah,
you'd end up with that burnt onto the screen.
yeah.
So that was early 2000s. That.
So when we had family over, what, a couple of weeks ago now, maybe? Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. I set up the projector screen out in the garden.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
Yeah, set up the projector, and it's the first time that I set it up in anger, and it was a learning experience. It was a learning experience. So things that I learned from it is that before you do any of that, you've got to have something to play on it that seven different people are going to watch.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
I want to watch that. Don't want to watch that. Don't want to watch.
No.
I want to watch this. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch this. So you choose something to put on. Two people are bored. Two people are talking all the way through it. Two people are. It's just you got to have something that everybody's going to watch, which is
Oh,
impossible.
yep.
Also, you need like a sound bar, or you need some sound amplification because the inbuilt sound just wasn't up to it outside. It's okay.
Outside, inside, it would probably work. I think.
Inside it works, outside it doesn't. So
Yeah.
that was a learning experience for me. And also, um, the other learning experience for me was to have the screen up against the wall and attached because the slightest breeze towards the end of it and it all fell over. This
Uh,
like the screen fell over because it's like a big sail, you know.
so, so what? Right. While we're here, we'll ask this question. If you could pick a film
Right?
that you were going to assume that 90% of the audience would watch, what would it be?
Yeah.
What film?
A dog's purpose.
Oh, you're straight on now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Dog's
And just
Purpose.
think about it.
I'm
As
going
you
to
start
offend
in the
you. I've never
sentence,
seen it.
really,
And I've
oh,
seen a lot of films, as you know.
yeah. In the nicest way, don't take this the wrong way, but get yourself some Kleenex.
All right. Yeah. Oh
Which
no.
is,
I probably can't watch it then. If an animal dies in a film, well, that's it. I'm done.
yeah,
I can't
yeah,
I can't watch that.
yeah. That's it's a brilliant film, brilliant film.
But
But
in it,
yeah,
right, if I don't want to watch a dog die, what else have you got for me?
um, action movie Sisu.
I have seen that, and it is very,
Yeah,
very good.
it is very good. Yeah,
Is it subtitled though?
it's in English.
Is it?
Yeah,
I was assuming that was subtitled. I
yeah,
can't
no,
remember when I watched it.
it's in English. But you might be thinking of Max,
Oh, another one, the Norwegian
yeah,
one.
the
Yeah.
Norwegian resistance.
Mm,
Uh, anyway,
yeah,
yeah,
another one.
I don't know.
No, so Sisu, yeah, that's good. He finds some gold, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's it.
And
Yeah,
he has to make his way through German lines. But
yeah.
I'm not sure that would appeal to, like, for example, my mum.
No, she might struggle with that one.
So that's what I'm trying. Like, if you could pick a film that literally you put on and everybody's going to like it.
I don't think there is one. I don't think there is one.
No, probably not. Probably not.
No, no. What was I going to say? Please all the people some of the time,
Well, some of the
or
people
something
all the
like that.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some,
So I've right a couple of things. I had visitors, Big Dave. If you ever watched my
yeah.
channel, yeah, Big Dave came over for a small week, as they say in French.
Yeah.
And we did some bits and bobs around the house, but we also went to Puy du Fou to
Yeah.
see the displays there. Now, if anyone doesn't know what Puy du Fou is, it's like I think Big Dave's wife actually said it the best. It's like Cirque du Soleil,
Yeah.
but each attraction you go to is a Cirque du Soleil performance,
Mm.
including it's medieval, so there's like sword fighting and they've got animals. And what they can do with the animals, I've never seen in my life before. I mean, it's just insane. They have wolves and dogs and stuff that attack humans right in front of you, part of the show, actual animals. Then if you go to the falconry display, you can have eagles and birds of prey miss you by 6 inches flying over
Yeah.
your head. And there's hundreds of them. Like it's like a swarm of all these birds around the place.
No.
I've never seen anything like it. I've been twice now.
We'll have to
I'm
go.
amazed each time I go. I
Yeah.
honestly don't know how they do what they do. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, there's just some parts of it I just genuinely don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
It's that good, and it's not super expensive either.
So
So,
what did Big Dave think of it?
oh, he loved it.
He's blown away, wasn't he? But
Absolutely loved it.
mm.
Um, yeah, and their daughter came as well,
Oh,
and she
lovely.
loved it as well. And her favorite was the falconry display, well,
Mm.
which I don't blame.
Mm.
Because there's everything from a bird that looks like it's a flightless bird, but it comes on and they put a fake snake in and it attacks this fake snake and shows you how it deals with snakes in the wild.
Right.
Absolutely insane. And then
Yeah.
they've got like occasionally other animals will come and join in. Like they had like loads of meerkats that just run through the place, and then they have what was the other? Oh, on some of the other displays, they've got like the Roman display on the Colosseum. They've got all the horses. They've got the chariot races that you can see. They're it's just insane, absolutely
You
insane.
wouldn't want to be the health and safety manager for that place, would you?
Oh, do you know what I said to Dave because he works in an industry which is heavily regulated by health and safety. And I just said, like, can you ever imagine this? So what we're going to do is we're going to get this arena and we're going to get live birds of prey to fly over the audience at a distance of about 150 millimeters over their heads and stop and not peck their eyes out. Anyone want to authorize this for the insurance?
Imagine the public liability excess on that
They had eagles,
premium.
condors, falcons,
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff just flying. Like you could touch if you reached up, you get told obviously to keep your hands where you below your head, but you could
yeah.
literally easily touch them as they flew over. and they're incredibly impressive and so well trained. I don't know how they do it. It's a bird. How can you train not one bird,
Never,
but hundreds of them to do like a display like that? I don't know.
did I ever tell you a story about my brother when he went to because he was in the Royal Navy for 9 years. He went to Gibraltar,
No.
and so, yeah, so brother's in the Royal Navy. Went to Gibraltar, and they all went ashore. And one of my brother's chums decided that they'd had a few beers, obviously. Decided that he was going to take home one of the Gibraltar rapes for his mum. So he buys himself a sports bag, goes up to this, goes up to this ape, punches it in the face, and stuffs it into
Oh
this bag,
my God.
right? Stuffs it into the bag, takes it back on board, stows it in a room, and promptly forgets about it. And so a couple of days later, they are going to move the warship, a few miles down the coast. So they pull the anchor up and move down the coast. And my brother just happened to be on the bridge, and the captain gives the order to the XO to drop the anchor. So they drop the anchor, and they see this thing come flying out of the front of the boat, so big arc, and splash into the water. And the captain turns to the XO and says, "Did you see that?" Yeah. He said, the XO says, "Yeah, I did, sir. Yeah." He says, "What was it?" He said, "I think it was a flying monkey, sir." So it turned out that this drunken matlow had stowed a Gibraltar ape in the room where they keep the anchor chain.
So when they dropped anchor,
Yeah,
it
just
legged it.
flung it into the air.
Oh my God.
Yeah, true story. There you
Well, doesn't surprise me in the Navy one bit.
go. Right,
Crazy.
anyway,
So getting back to it then, what do you
coming
think?
back,
Because we really went off on a tangent there.
yeah, coming back to the what you were saying about your excellent latest video and the solar kits. Because there is a website on it, Hello Solar,
Yeah.
which it just seems to. I mean, I've had a look around, and they just seem unbeatable in terms of price and quality.
So let me just tell you about
Yeah,
the material that we got was the cheapest that, well, Aloe Solo is pretty cheap anyway. But the panels and the inverter when they arrived, I know the make because we use them at work.
yeah,
It's Trina Solar for the panels, and they are like a top make.
right.
And the inverter is called Hoy Miles, and they are really
Very
good
easy
make
one.
as well.
Yeah,
So there's nothing wrong with the quality of what you receive. So I'm not an agent for Aloe Solar. I just found them
oh,
online and
yeah,
then looked at the price. I knew what the equipment was, and I was like, actually, that's a really, really good price. So
mm. Yeah. They do good deals as well, don't they? They do promotions as well.
yeah, yeah, if you're looking. No. So on Sunday, a friend of ours has bought a four-panel system, exactly the same from the same company.
Yep.
And what he's done is actually made a log store, and the panels make the roof of the log store.
Right.
So you can store the logs in there. You would store them anyway, so it doesn't take up any more space.
Yeah.
And all I've got to go and do is help him wire it in, put a socket near where the log store is. I'm going to do that on Sunday and do a video so you can see what a four-panel system
Brilliant. I
can
mean,
look
that'll be the
like.
one that I'll be getting anyway. So is that 2,000 watts?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
500 watts up. Okay.
yeah.
Those the thing that I didn't really understand is those panels are double faced, aren't they?
No, right. So there's two words by there, which means two glass or two sections.
Right.
Bifacial means that one side, the back side has also got cells on.
Yeah, yeah, that's what. Oh, so that's what I understood. So I guess that would be used if you've got it at an angle in the garden with a. reflective.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not sure they actually are worth getting those things.
yeah,
The ones we got from our mums, if you looked on the back, they're all white. So
yeah,
there's no cells on the back.
yes,
It's just split in half to aid with shading,
yeah,
and they're 500 watts each, and that's really what you need. The ones with the if you had, I'll tell you where that would work if you had cells on the back, is if you had a pergola.
yeah,
So you could see the bottom of the panels and the top of the panels. The sun would reflect off the patio, and you would get some gain a little bit from the back.
yeah.
But in my opinion, it's not really worth it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, we've been looking at it, and it actually genuinely has saved my mom money on her bill.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you showed it, didn't you? You showed the info from the Linkometer app and the EDF app.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
amazing.
on another video I've got coming after, I'm going to do one on Sunday for this 4 panel system, which is really quite nice. I mean, the guy's a carpenter, and well, maybe carpenter does him a disservice. He's
Yeah.
more a cabinet maker actually, but he's built this thing in his garden. So we'll see that on Sunday. But there's another device which I'm doing a video on at the moment. So what it does is it senses when you're producing more solar than the house is consuming,
Yep.
and it takes the excess, on only the excess, and fires it into your hot water.
Yeah.
So if you're producing 2,000 watts, but the house is only taking 1,000, it puts the difference, the 1,000 watts, into your hot
Yeah.
water heater.
Right.
So you can heat your hot water for free on sunny days. You don't have to pay to heat your hot water.
Hmm.
So that's a
That's nice.
device you can put next to your hot water heater and heat it for free.
Yeah. Um, I probably won't be doing that here now. Obviously, our house here is up for sale. So I probably won't be doing that here now, but certainly when we buy the new place, that will be one of the first things that we get.
Well, it's worth mentioning because the solar panel plug-in kits, even the 4 panel one, you can
Yeah,
buy now
take it with you. Yeah, yeah,
and put it on, and it'll start, especially if you've got a swimming pool,
yeah,
you'll start saving money immediately
yeah,
now, and then you just unplug it and take it to your new house.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
no that's the benefit of these systems.
Yeah, that's true.
They're temporary, they're not permanent.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I mean, interesting to see. I think it would benefit you now, especially because you've got a swimming pool, unless
yeah.
you've closed it in. But
Yeah, I know that.
yeah, that would definitely take some edge off.
Mm. Yeah, that's definitely a thing about it. But yeah,
In fact, if you look at it, it would actually be better for you to buy it now than later because your consumption is more now. You would gain more benefit from it because you're in the middle of summer.
yeah, that's true.
Than if you bought it towards the end of the year when you buy a new house and you've got less consumption, you're cancelling out less, if you see what I mean.
Mm.
You'll be
Yeah.
exporting more than you'll use from it.
Mm.
But now with the swimming pool and the pump, you could cancel out pretty much all the water, all the electricity the water pump uses during the
Mm.
day. You could pretty
Yeah,
much cancel that
yeah.
out.
I think I need to look at that again.
So one of the questions I was asked, right, one of the guys that I work with is leaving the job where I work,
Hmm.
and he was a police officer well, he was in Fougères. He's now going to be a police officer in Rennes.
Okay.
And he said to me, we're just having a chat today, and he said, "Do you miss anything about England?"
Okay.
And I thought that
Good
was
standing question. Mm.
interesting for him to actually ask that to
Mm.
find out what I miss or not, because he's the first French person I've asked that says that. Plenty of English people have asked me and said,
Yeah.
what do you miss? What do you miss? Fish and chips, blah, brown sauce.
Yeah.
But it's the first time a French person has said to me, "Do you not miss it?" And yeah, what, if anything, do you miss?
Fish and chips and brown sauce. There is there is a fish and chip shop down the road from here in Conflon. It's massively expensive, but at the same time, talking to family back in the UK, I think fish and chips is really expensive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, it's crazy money. Because it used to be you had fish and chips because you couldn't afford a proper meal.
That's funny. Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right, actually.
Yeah,
So back in the this might even be the 80s. So
right.
yeah, that's a long time ago. My nan used to work in a fish and chip shop uh, near York, and some evenings we would go there, and with my mum would take us there to see my nan while she was at work.
Yeah,
Look, you could eat as much as you want, obviously.
yeah, of
It
course.
was a very rare treat, but um, you know when they serve you fish and chips and then the batter, the little bits of batter, did you have a
Yeah.
name for those?
No, that's quite a northern thing because I remember going up to Blackpool once for work, and I thought I'll just get some fish and chips. And went into this fish and chip shop and up in Blackpool, and I said, "Yeah, I'll have saveloy chips, please, mate." He went, "What?" I
Oh,
said,
what?
"Yeah, "A what?" I said, "Yeah, saveloy chips." He went, "That's like a tainted sausage, isn't it?" That was his words. That's like a tainted sausage, isn't it? I said, "Yeah, is it? Okay." And he said, "If you want a sausage, why don't you just ask for a sausage?" I said, "Because I was asking for a salad." I said, "All right, I'll have a sausage and batter, please, and chips." He said, "Do you want sprinkles?" I said, "I don't know what
Ah,
that is." I said, "I don't know what that is." He said, "It's these." He looked at me like some brainless pleb, you know. He said, "It's the,
Southerners, they're all the same.
coming over here."
Come
Yeah, he
winning
said,
a
"Do you want
bingo.
sprinkles?" I said, "Yeah, I don't know what that is." And he showed me. I said, "Yeah, stick them on. They look really nice." And he said, "Did you want a balm cake?" I said, "I
Oh
don't know
no,
what that
can't
is."
go with that. That's too far west. That.
Yeah, I said, "I don't know what that is." He said, it's that." Yeah, I said, "Well, that'll be a battered roll then." And he said, "Yeah, okay." He said, "Do you want a pickled egg?" Why on earth would I want a pickled egg? What, in what world would I want a pickled egg?
Nobody would want one.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that was my experience of fish and chip shop up north.
Well, so for me, coming from up north, from Yorkshire, and certainly that area having lovely fish and chips. I mean, pretty much, well, maybe not now, but back in the day,
Back in the
the
day.
fish and chips were brilliant. I mean, they were really well cooked through, and they had them on the go all the time. You can walk in, there were stacks of them, like on the go, and then it sort of changed to you go in at 12:30 and go, "Can I have fish and chips?" And you go, well, you'll have to wait for fish, mate." And you think, I'm not being funny here, but it's a fish and chip shop. Why do I have to wait for fish to be cooked? Because
Yeah.
it's lunchtime. You're not expected to sell any, or what? I
It's
mean,
like it's like McDonald's here, right? You go into McDonald's in France. I don't know whether it's what it's like in the UK because I've been away for a while, but you go into McDonald's in France, you put your order onto the touch screen and you get a bit of paper
mm,
and they cook it from that order.
yeah,
And it, depending on what you have, it can take 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes sometimes. And I just don't think they understand the concept of fast food because it used to be, like you say, back in the day,
yeah,
you'd walk in, there'd be three people in front of you in the queue because there'd be loads of staff. Even, busiest times, you go, I'll have, yeah, two cheeseburgers and a small fries and a root beer, used to be. Can't get that anymore. And a root beer. And they go, wash, wash, wash. There you go. That's,
yeah, done and dusted.
that'd be £2. And then you'd walk out and yeah, and that was it. And like the whole transaction probably took 4 minutes. If
Yeah,
that's probably less than that, probably 3 minutes.
yeah.
But
And it
now
was
it's
served in like a styrofoam box as well, which obviously
that's
you
it.
can't
Yeah,
do. But I remember when I moved down from North Yorkshire to London, someone said, I think someone I worked with said, "We'll go and get some fish and chips." And we got fish and chips. And I went, "These are not fish and chips." I don't know what you've been eating down here, but
Yeah.
this is not fish and chips. And
We're not savages
it,
yet.
in fact, I struggled for years to find any decent fish and chips down south. And the problem for me is between the fish and the batter is the white slime because they haven't cooked it for long enough, or they
Yeah.
cooked it too high temperature but not long enough, or I'm not a cook, but I didn't like that. And I
Yeah.
could always tell whether it was good. If I ate the whole thing completely, it was good
Yeah.
fish and chips.
Yeah.
If I had to open the batter and pick and choose which bits of batter I ate and which bits of fish I ate, because
Mm.
some bits were undercooked, some bits weren't, then
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it. And it took me a long time to find anywhere down south that would cook it properly.
Yeah.
So yeah, much to the amusement of my ex at the time. She used to say, "Don't mind you ordering that. You know it's not going to be right." And I was like, "Well, I got to try these things
You
out."
can live in hope, can't you?
Yeah, I think I did find one or two places, but I haven't few and far between. But coming back to McDonald's, actually, it's so different in France, isn't it? It's really
You,
different.
you
So you
can't
can't get
can't
a
buy a
Big Mac.
milkshake in France.
You
In
can't buy a Big Mac meal with a coffee as the drink.
no,
They just
no.
don't do it.
You
And
can have a wine,
because for them, the coffee is after the meal. You can't buy it with the meal. You have to then go
mm,
to the separate coffee counter and buy your cafe after.
not cafe.
Yeah, weird. But you can stick a Heineken on there. That's no problem. If you're eating
Oh,
in, you can order your Big Mac with a Heineken.
yeah. Always amazes me when you go to the services on the motorways, how much alcohol is with the food.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You get a plat de jour and you get a small carafe of wine.
So obviously, for me at work, it's interesting because if you work 5 kilometers plus more than 5 kilometers from your base, your workshop, the government subsidizes your meal.
Yeah.
So, for example, not today, but yesterday, I was miles away. I had to go and see a solar system on a boat, which is north of Rennes, that wasn't working properly. And then I went with the boss's son and who's the boss really. We went and went to a restaurant. You can have what you want, but it's almost certain that you're going to have a beer or wine with your dinner
Mm,
every day, every
mm.
day. I mean, I've got a beer pump in the office for when people
Yeah, of course.
are in the office. They go down to the Super U, and we've got a card. If you're at the base, you go and buy your dinner in Super U, and then come back to the base, and everyone has a beer, and everyone has their lunch, and then goes back out after lunch and does whatever it is they're
Mm.
doing. It's a
It's a
completely
different,
different world.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's completely different. Yeah, yeah,
absolutely different.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
so I'm
remember
actually go
when
on.
I worked at JLT, which was a big insurance broker in the City of London. If we worked in the evening shift, which was from about 1 o'clock to whenever we finished, something, it could be 11, 12 o'clock, we'd get a meal allowance, which for years and years and years was £15. So we had company credit cards. Obviously, you had to, obviously, everything was monitored, everything that we spent. And the turning point was the chief executive, his favourite restaurant was a place called Wilton's on Jermyn Street, and which is Jermyn Street runs. I know you know, but Jermyn Street runs parallel with Piccadilly, which is one of the main streets in the West End. And
It's not super easy to park down there though. That's the when it's
actually,
busy.
it's not too bad as long as you get there at the appropriate
Ah,
time.
yeah, in the
Yeah,
appropriate time. That's the key.
yeah, that's the yeah, it's not too bad. Wasn't many times that I drive round and round and round the block to find a space. But anyway, so some do-gooder in the office had complained about how much we were spending. So they was focusing on it.
Oh,
Anyway, so the after the chief executive had finished his evening meal in Wilton's with some client, he came out and I was taking him home. He lived in Kensington at the time. And he said, "Oh, did you get something to eat?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, what did you have?" I said, "I had spaghetti bolognese." He said, "Oh, what else do you have?" I said, "No, that's it. That's all I had." He said, "Why is that?" He was not hungry. I said, "No, we get a £15 meal allowance. That's all like we were in the West End of London. What do you think £15 buys you?" He said, "That's ridiculous." He said, "Just have something to eat next time." Okay. So that's what we did. But following
Yeah, exactly,
that,
exactly.
as long as you don't, take the piss like, then you're okay, really.
Yeah. So g- interesting. Central London is quite expensive, but there was some places that were really popular with chauffeurs, emergency services. One was in Shepherd's Market called Pinocchio's.
I
Probably,
know, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's like a taxi place, isn't it?
So I remember going down
Cab
there
place.
one early morning. It's got to be 7 o'clock. I got there for a breakfast. Just wanted I think it was a bacon sandwich or something. That's it. Not overly badly priced and it tasted
Yeah,
all right. It wasn't amazing, but at
yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna have it.
There
But
was
if you just come up there, there's a cul-de-sac just around there. It's the back of one of the hotels.
yeah, it's the
Um,
Hilton Park Lane.
is what?
Certainly Moss lives down there, don't know what he did when he was alive.
That's what I was gonna say. So one day I went there and there was two of us and we parked bikes in front of this entrance. And this little golf cart comes up the street at 7 o'clock in the morning and it wants to get past us. Well, no, what's this at 7 o'clock in the morning? Oh my God, it's Sterling Moss. So he had like a converted golf cart, which was way faster than a golf cart, if you know what I'm saying. It's obviously something had been done to that, but no one wants to talk to him about stopping more. It was definitely not legal, I don't think. And he was whizzing around Central London, Berkeley Square, and all that around near the Saudi Arabian embassy and all that. He was just burning around there all morning
Yeah,
and early morning. Then he'd come back in. Yeah, what a nice guy though. Really nice
yeah, yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, super nice
He had
guy.
that big, there was like a wooden cutout of like a cartoon racing car on the front of his house, wasn't there?
I don't remember seeing that because he was at this point he was living there when I didn't remember seeing that, but.
There was a really good Lebanese restaurant right on that corner opposite the
Yeah, everybody went there. It was the
it was
place
really
to
good.
be. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really good.
which is it's funny because sorry for all those people who didn't live in London and don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
but Shepherd's Market was the red light district of that particular area. So you've got this
It
really
used to
posh
be, yeah.
Lebanese restaurant, and then you've got loads of open doors with red lights.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it was a really good sandwich. There was a really good what was the name of the barbers in? It wasn't Trumpers, was it? It was right on Curzon Street. I can't remember his name, but there was a quite a famous barbers there with a bookshop next to it.
Um, you know,
Antique
but
bookshop. Because I went into that, I remember going into that bookshop and buying um, a load of antique, well, not antique, old Tintin books and Dr. Seuss books out there.
I bet they're pretty politically correct as well, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely not. No, I
No,
mean Dr. Seuss books, maybe, yeah, but
no, certainly not the Tintin
no,
ones.
Tintin in the Congo. It's probably not.
No, Tintin
We're
would
not going to be able to
be
show that one.
he'd be in the National Front, wouldn't he?
What is
Anyway,
it?
so there was one thing down that street, and if anyone doesn't, well, a lot of people won't know this, but so Park Lane is a really big sort of posh area. It's in Mayfair in London, and just off that is a little street called Curzon Street where um, there's a Saudi Arabian embassy, and it's quite well to do down there, it's fair to say. And there's a bar there where all the people from the Middle East go to
Hmm.
smoke shisha and all that business. But there was a guy who used to travel down from Birmingham in his Golf to beg. He was a beggar. So
Right.
he had a brand new Golf and he used to drive down on a Friday night and he used to get changed in his car into his begging gear. And he used to go around this bar and just beg because he knew he'd get minimum. Each person would give him a £50 note.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of
And then he got to the point where people didn't carry very much. So he bought himself a card machine.
course it is.
Seriously, this is serious. And
Brilliant.
he used to go out and beg using a card machine, and he
Yeah.
was making a fortune.
Yeah.
Absolute fortune. I think he made the press. And I'm not 100% certain. I seem to remember it. But he used to park his golf up on a night and then walk up there. He could earn, I don't know, five, six, maybe more, £700 a night just
Yeah.
by begging. And they all knew him. And the thing is, they keep paying out every day because he was there every week.
Why wouldn't it be?
Oh,
There was a
exactly. Yeah.
story about this car park attendant. I want to say it was in London, but I'm not sure. So there was this big car park down the road from this attraction. Like I say, I want to say it was down by London Zoo and up in Regent's Park there, but I'm not sure. It could well have been somewhere else. But anyway, so this guy was there 7 days a week, taking payments for this car park. 7 days a week, come rain or shine, right through the year, 24/7. And yeah, it was taking money from these people, that wanted to park in the car park. Anyway, one day this guy just didn't turn up, and didn't turn up the next day or the day after. And the people that use the car park regularly, they were a bit worried about him, and they contacted the local council, said, look, we're a bit worried about the car park attendant. He hasn't turned up. And he said, and the council said, we haven't got a car park attendant. That's a free car park.
I love that so
So,
much.
so this guy had been there about 12 years, taking payments every day.
Oh, mate, I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. The ingenuity behind it is just,
And there's a similar one to very, very similar one to that as well. That's this guy's in a restaurant in a hotel, a bit like Claridge's, that sort of place. Um, and he's having a meal with his wife, and they're just about to finish the meal. And he says to his wife, "I'm just going to pop to the loo." So he goes along to the loo, and I don't know if anybody else knows, but in the big hotels, in the five-star hotels in London, there's normally a guy or a woman in the ladies' toilet that will brush you down, turn the tap on for you,
aftershave,
yeah,
all that. Yeah.
aftershave and all that. Yeah, just for a few quid. Anyway, so the guy goes to the loo and there's a guy there, and he gets a little clothes brush out and brushes him down, and puts the hot water on for him, puts some soap in his hands and all of that, and a little bit of aftershave and that, and that's it on his face for him. And uh, the guy says to him, "Look, I'm really sorry, I haven't got any cash on me." And the guy goes, "Don't worry about it, that's fine." Anyway, he goes back to the table. He's feeling bad about it. So when the maitre d' comes around with the bill, uh, he says to the maitre d', "Look, could you put £10 on the bill for the toilet attendant?" And the maitre d' says, "We haven't got a toilet attendant."
I love it. Love it so much.
Yeah,
Just simple stuff like that. It's just amazing. Oh yeah. Anyway, for something like that, you got to say, look, I admire the kahunas. Like
yeah, definitely, yeah.
you should. Yeah, you haven't hurt anyone, and you've got the balls to do something like that.
I mean, from what I remember, the car park guy was there like for about 12 years.
I mean, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's like when he disappeared, he probably got got the first flight to St. Kitts or somewhere. They're sitting on the beach.
Well, yeah, after 12 years. Oh my
Yeah,
God. I love that. Yeah. Oh, them in the days. Anyway, getting back to it, because that was
yeah,
a big, big tangent.
yeah,
So I'm gonna start a series on my channel of crazy stuff my boss has asked me to do because some of the stuff I have to do at work is just insane.
yeah.
So this week I've been making a
This week I
solar
shall nicely be
this week, or mostly, yeah, a solar doghouse.
a solar doghouse. Why haven't
Yeah.
I got a solar doghouse?
Well,
I'm
well,
clearly living like a
you obviously
savage.
don't move in those circles, do you?
No,
Um,
clearly not.
yeah. So, right, my boss has a large lake that he's bought
Yeah,
and to be redone at a future date, including large buildings and stuff like that. But the problem is the gate that into it is really awkward. It's on a corner and it's on a fastish road, like 80 kilometers an hour.
all right.
So he says, I want that gate to open before I get there or anyone gets there.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, right. Can you do it? And I said, well, yeah. If you've got the money and the time, I can do
Yeah,
anything you
yeah,
want.
yeah,
And he goes, but I want to know, and I want to know who's opened it. And I want to see a video of them opening it and a picture of them opening it.
yeah.
Yeah, of course, no problem. Enter the solar doghouse.
Okay. Of
Oh, and one other thing, there's no mains electricity to it.
course not. No.
There you go. So this is a story about how I converted an old doghouse into a
Yeah,
solar powered doghouse to provide the power for an electric gate, which then takes its instructions from a 4G internet router, which is linked to my office,
hmm.
which can filter out and see exactly who is opening the gates and when, and an application I made for everyone's phone that can go on it.
Nice.
So that'll be super interesting.
Brilliant. So there's a new section on Google Translate, on the Google Translate app. It's a beta section. So just explain what beta means.
Beta is usually it usually refers to a system or a process or a software that's in development, but you can sign up to it to use that before the official release is available.
Right. So as I say, there's a new thing on Google Translate, and it's powered by AI, perhaps unsurprisingly, and you can have a conversation in French with AI.
Mm.
You can set the level of French. You can select a subject, or you can type a subject. So, say you've got a situation coming up where you're going to be, for sake of argument, buying a loaf of bread at the baker's. So you can type in buying a loaf of bread at the baker's, and then it will run you through the conversation both ways. So you can speak, and it will listen, and then formulate an answer, and so on. And it's a
Interesting.
two-way conversation. It's really, really clever.
Hmm. I've had a run-in with ChatGPT this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first week I've decided I'm going to use that for work to see if it will help me. And
Right.
on the face of it, it looked quite good. And I was like, wow, this is going to save me loads of time. And then as I was going through it all, I was like, I had to keep saying, you've made a mistake here, you've made a mistake here, this won't work here, this won't work here, this won't work here, to the point where it was just getting so lengthy. I just said, no, I just can't use it.
Do you think that's because what you're doing hasn't been done before?
Mm. I'm
Um,
absolutely sure what I'm building and what
yeah,
I'm doing has never
there
been
you
done
go. So,
before.
that GPT only gets its artificial intelligence from things that have been done before.
Yeah, I mean, it's in effect, at best, the moment currently, ChatGPT 4, I would describe it as a highly advanced search engine.
Yeah,
I can't really say it do that much more than that for what I do. I can actually research things on Google better than the answers that it will give me at the
yeah.
moment. But you can see where it's coming down the line that it's going to be, yeah, it's definitely going to be the future. But for me, it misses out important things like the prompts you have to give it are so lengthy as well. So you have to describe your whole system. So Uh, well, I don't want to bore everyone who's listening to this, but you describe. I have to do inter-network communications. So you have to describe both networks, how they communicate, and all that kind of stuff. You put all
Right.
that information in, ask it a simple question, and it'll give you an answer, and you go, "Well, actually, you can't do that because of," and they go, "Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, no, what about this? Oh, well, you can't do it because of that." In the end, it's just not really worth it.
Mm.
For something like that, I would do my own research online
Then
and
hopefully,
check the forums with actual human people, and they have actually done it before. So you can search like each scenario, and someone in the past has done it before. But ChatGPT just mixes the words up and
yeah.
says, "Oh right, well you want to do a bridge or you want to do this," and then well, no, that doesn't really work in this situation. So it doesn't take everything into account.
Mm.
Anyway, so
Yeah, I mean, it
on.
does have its limitations at the moment, doesn't it?
And I would say that at the moment because it's becoming smarter and smart. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you couldn't imagine anything like that even 5 years ago, I guess, It's so smart. It's going to just get smarter and smarter.
But I mean, the fact that you can speak to a machine and it understands you is when you consider the amount of variation in accent and the way that people speak. There was an update on the on Google Translate, and it said we've added 150 languages,
Wow.
and that's added 100. That's not we've got 150 languages since the last update. We've added 150 languages. I didn't know there was that many languages to add to.
One of the things to consider, of course, when you do any kind of questioning on ChatGPT, the amount of energy you're using for that is equivalent
Yeah,
of boiling a kettle for like 10 minutes.
yeah, yeah,
So each time you ask it a question, you're boiling a kettle somewhere in the world, and that normally translates to a power station somewhere in America,
yeah.
and it's just going to be chucking. It's not a not an environmentally friendly power station.
No. Well, I mean, I think for me, having listened to the Snowden,
Have you finished it now?
oh yeah, a long time ago. Yeah,
Okay. What
I
do you think?
listened to it on Audible, and it was
Hmm.
actually what was his first name again?
Edward.
Edward. Yeah, it was actually Edward Snowden reading it,
Oh, brilliant.
and I listened to that at every opportunity during the day, and I think I listened to the whole thing in about 4 days, and it was
I must
just
have read it in about that as well, yeah.
it was just ridiculous. It was just, I mean, that was written. I don't know what.
Mid 2000? No, no, 2010s, I think.
Yeah, so 15 years ago. So you can imagine. I tell you what, is a fantastic resource. The Sean Ryan podcast.
Hmm.
He's had a few people on there. He's had he's had loads and loads of people on there. But there's a there's a building in New York that it's got no windows, and it's like a nondescript building, and it houses all the stuff that Snowden.
Yes, I know.
Around.
It's actually near the Rockefeller Center, just
There you
next to
go.
it.
Yeah, there you go. And
Yeah, I've seen it.
yeah, it's got all that stuff inside it. And I think the thing that blew my mind about it was that they're not just recording, what you're speaking and writing, in terms of emails and phone calls and stuff, but they're also recording the metadata that's attached to it.
Everything.
It's just it's just madness. So I remember the way that he explained it was that if you become a person of interest, that's the phrase, isn't it? If you become a person of interest and you make a phone call to someone, however innocent it might be, they become a person of interest. So you could very easily get caught up in that. Um, you know, Before you know it, you're a person of interest.
It reminds me, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's always been done by the Americans, have always done it. And in fact, the system that the Americans use, or well, not software, well, yeah, I guess the software was actually developed by the British. And they went to the British government saying, this is what we're going to do. And they went, no, you're not. You can't do that. And they went, okay, right, we'll give it to the Americans. They can do it on our behalf. So that's where it all started, as
Yep.
usual. It's like I was speaking to Anna. And she was talking to me about the times when Franco was in charge in Spain, because she's
Right.
Spanish. And I said to her, you probably don't realize, but Franco was put in charge there by the British. And she said, no, I didn't realize that because it was an incredibly tough and brutal time. People were murdered and, oh, it was horrible. It's like well, it was a civil war, wasn't it? So back in the day, Franco was seen to be a brutal, horrible military leader. So he was exiled to an island and said, right, you can look after that island because we don't want your nonsense here by the Spanish. And the British went, do you know what we can do? We can use this to our advantage. So they
Mm.
sent a private plane with MI5 and pilots and stuff, and they flew Franco from the island back to Spain to start the revolution.
Mm.
It's all down to the British that that all happened because we did
Mm.
that. Well, like we do with all around the world. It's horrible. But
Yeah.
yeah, when I told her that, she was like, I did not know that. I
There you
said, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
go. It wasn't
Yeah.
me.
So a good book for that actually is Fake History by Otto English.
Yeah, I think you recommended that to me actually.
Mm, there's loads of stuff like that in it.
Yeah, because it starts right back with the Romans, doesn't it? That book.
It does, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, about what you didn't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, the winners write the history, don't they?
that's it.
Uh,
That's it. For the Victor
like
goes well.
what was the latest one I was listening to was the uh, s- oh yeah, all the articles that the British Museum have stolen from, well, all around the world really.
Mm,
And one of them was the shield of some warrior in Australia.
yeah,
And I was like the Elgin marbles. Why don't you just give them back? They're not yours. You know,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like maybe back in the day when they would have been destroyed. I understand that, but now they're all civilized societies. Why can't we just give them back, put them in their museum because it's theirs?
yeah.
I don't
Well,
understand that.
no, it's there's a little sketch that Eddie Izzard does in one of his shows about that colonialism sort of thing, and he says that they turned up, stuck a flag in, and went, "Oh, you're British now, okay?"
Yeah.
And
All right. Cheers.
and
Thanks.
these Victorians are walking around going, "Oh, I like that. Let's take that home. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll have
Yeah.
that.
Brilliant.
That look nice in my front room now." Well,
Yeah. Oh, I guess we're probably due on time now.
yeah. Actually, I'll just tell you a quick one while we've
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
Um, One of the chaps that I know was moving out to France, and he employed this guy from up north to take his furniture over. He's this man in a van sort of guy, and he did what he said. Oh, I have to do it in two trips. Did the first trip fine. Picked up the second lot of like second and last lot of furniture. Didn't show up. Disappeared.
Did
Right, didn't show up. Disappeared.
he sink in the
Anyway,
channel?
yeah. So as it turned out, the guy had talked about where he lived. So this friend of mine went to look for him, and through a stroke of luck, the second street that he drove down looking for him, he saw the guy's van. Right, so he went and knocked on. This is in the early hours of the morning, about 8:30 in the morning. Went and knocked on the door, and the guy opened his top window, looked out. Oh, cool. Anyway, he said, "You best come down, mate, because I want a word." The guy come down. He said, "Oh, you better come in." So I went into the guy's house, and he said it was like walking into my front room. He had my sofa there. He had my pictures on the wall, my
Shut
chair,
up.
tables.
This is you've made this one up.
That's true. Yeah,
Oh,
it's true. And he said, "Where's all the rest?" He said, "It's in a barn down the road." So he said, "Right, see you. I want all that stuff in France in 2 days, or I'm going to call the police." Which is what the guy did. But yeah, true story.
wow. So
Yeah,
just nicked the entire lot of furniture.
just took the entire stuff and refurnished his house with it. Unbelievable. True story.
How
Right,
did you get
out of
away with
time.
that? Oh no. Anyway, yeah,
Running out
go
of time.
on.
So thank you so much for watching. Uh, we've had to make this one up on the fly, so hope it's been good enough for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I always enjoy it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So if you'd like to give a video a thumbs up, that would be great. Maybe think about sharing it on your socials. Press the notification bell so that you know when there's new content. Maybe think about subscribing if you're not subscribed already, which I can't believe you wouldn't be.
No,
You got this far and you're not subscribed.
there's nothing wrong.
You need your bumps felt, didn't you? So yeah, so all that leaves to say is that it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him.